Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
May one eat while wearing tefillin? You put on tefillin before davening, you would really like to have a coffee, or if you feel weak, you would like to eat a little bit of mezainis before davening. May you do so. And what about after davening? Someone has a yahrzeit, or other occasion for which he brought some mezainis and some schnapps. Can you enjoy it while still wearing your tefillin, or must you take off your tefillin beforehand? So we find in the Gemara in Tractate Brachis 23b a discussion regarding this matter, as is recorded likewise in the Shulchanaruch in chapter 40, halacha 8 in the Mechaber, halacha 11 in the Alter Rebbe. So there it states that somebody who is wearing his tefillin and walks into a set meal, a su'udas keva, as we will shortly define, is required to remove his tefillin before sitting down to eat the meal. In other words, saying that it is forbidden to eat a set meal while wearing your tefillin. Now, what is the reason recorded regarding this prohibition? The reason is because it was normal back then, and at times even today, to drink alcohol, mashke, wine, during a meal. And if you drink, you may come to get drunk and belittle yourself while wearing the tefillin, which is forbidden to be done, and therefore to make a guard railing around this, the Chachamim prohibited eating a set meal while wearing tefillin. Now, even if you say, well, I don't drink, it doesn't matter, the decree was already made and it remains prohibited for everybody. This is a clear halacha without any debate and is the final ruling. Now what about a mere snack or a temporary meal? So the poskim above continue and write that only a set meal is prohibited to be eaten while wearing tefillin. However, a temporary meal, meaning a snack, is permitted to be eaten while wearing tefillin. You don't have to remove them beforehand. Now, what is defined as a temporary meal or snack versus a set meal? So the poskim, the achreinim, as brought in the Mishnah Berurah and Kaf HaChaim, record that the definition follows the same definition used in Hilchas Sukkos of what's allowed to be eaten outside of a sukkah. So just like you can eat mezainis and amaitzi up to 55 grams of kibetza outside of a sukkah, so too you can eat up to 55 grams of mezainis or hamaitzi while wearing your tefillin. Now at times when we need to measure this in volume as 55 cc versus grams, as certain mezainis products float on water and are lighter than it, such as matzah and thin crackers, and therefore you would need to eat a lot less than 55 grams. All the above is regarding mezainis or hamaitzi products, so if regarding foods that are buried in nefashah, such as meat, cheese, vegetables, fruits, etc., there is no restriction limitation. You can eat of them as much as you want while wearing tefillin. Certainly this applies to non-alcoholic beverages that you can drink of any amount that you want while wearing tefillin. And therefore it goes without saying that it is permitted to have a tea or a coffee while wearing your tefillin, and there is no prohibition in doing so. Nonetheless, despite the above ruling of the Shulchan Aruch, there are some achreinim who question and say that perhaps the entire ruling above of allowing a snack to be eaten while wearing tefillin was only applicable in previous times when people wore the tefillin for the entire day. Then we say for a snack you can continue wearing them. By a meal you have to take them off and then put them back on after the meal is over. However, today that we only really wear it for davening, then perhaps you shouldn't eat anything while wearing tefillin at all. So writes the Shulchan Shleimah, who questions this, as is brought in the Mishnah Berurah in 40 Sifkat and Yotes. Nonetheless, despite the above doubt of the Shulchan Shleimah and Mishnah Berurah, the implication of all the poskim, including the Alter Rebbe, is that it is permitted to do so, and so conclude the Achreinim, the Eiver Reach, Dinim Ba'anhagis, Shurashai, and that so was done by Gdei Yisrael, such as the Chassam Sofer and Maram Shik, who would eat a snack or drink while wearing tefillin. However, what we can say is that if you anyways plan on removing your tefillin, then it's better to remove it before having your snack than to wait till you have your snack to remove it. So to summarize, from the letter of the law, it's permitted to eat a snack and have a drink while wearing tefillin, as we said. And even though some are stringent, practically, those who are lenient have upon whom to rely, as that is the main ruling. Now let's talk about having a lechaim, having some schnapps, such as you just finished davening, someone's doing a yahrzeit or a kibbut for whatever reason, hanochas tefillin, for his son, etc., and he has lechaim. Is it permitted to drink a small amount of lechaim while wearing your tefillin? So this already enters into some more dangerous territory, as the entire reason why the sages prohibited eating a set meal with tefillin is because of the lechaim. So how can you go ahead and have a lechaim with tefillin? Practically, however, although this is an interesting argument to make, and so actually rules some poskim, nonetheless, the majority of poskim rule that here too we apply the difference between a snack and a meal, and that up to 55 cc of lechaim is permitted to be drunk. as implied from the Magen Avram 232 regarding before Mincha, and so rules the Kaf Lechaim likewise regarding Tefillin, and so rule other Rabbanim of today. Nonetheless, while here too we find that those who are lenient to have a Lechaim with Tefillin have upon whom to rely, certainly those who are stringent are doing a good thing. Certainly one may not drink even less than 55 cc of Lechaim if it will make him tipsy and cause him to have frivolity or Hesach Hadas.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many Sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support